this segment we're going to cover installing the heater hose. We've already discussed lubing it and the proper positioning of the clamps. Then we simply connect each end of the heater hose one at a time, slowly sliding it over the nipple. So what you do is get the hose installed on both nipples. I got the lower one just a minute ago, and I'm now slowly pushing the upper hose on, just wiggling it back and forth and twisting slightly so it slides on easily. We don't want to crink or bend or clip the hose or damage it in any way. Once we get both ends connected, we want to visually look over the hose, make sure it's routed correctly, that it's not rubbing on any hard parts. The engine's mounted on rubber motor mounts. When the engine torques when you accelerate and deaccelerate, in this movement, if the hose is rubbing on something, can start to cause a wear and a premature failure of the hose. So we want to make sure it's in its proper place and not rubbing anything. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and clip it into this clamp located under this hose, and that holds it in that proper position right there. Then once I've got it in the proper position, I simply slide the clamps down, tighten them up with a screwdriver. So now that we've inspected everything and we're confident that it's routed correctly and not rubbing on anything, the next step is to tighten the clamps. You can do this with the use of a straight screwdriver, or on these screw type clamps, they commonly, you could use a 5/16 nut driver or an 8mm nut driver. They have a tendency to stay on the nut better than a slotted screwdriver, but any of them will work. Just take your time, tighten down the hose clamp to where it's good and snug. You don't want to over tighten it because you could damage the nipple. Some of them are made of plastic. And the size of the clamp is usually less than the diameter of the nipple. The nipple is usually about 1 inch long. The clamps are about 3/8 of an inch wide. So you want to put the clamp, if you feel the nipple, you'll find at the end of the nipple there's a lip. And you want to put that clamp right behind where that lip is. So it squeezes in and provides a good seal right at the base of the lip on the end of the hose nipple. So watch our next segment on installing a hose, part 2.